Hello, guys. It has been some time now. Welcome to season 2 of Courageous Exchanges.
Yay!
I'm Joy.
And I'm Alex.
And we are excited to be back. It has been a few months. We will tell you what we've been doing since we've last talked and we last met, I guess. But we are excited to be back. As you can see, we're in a different space. We are not in my living room right now.
Very fancy. As you can see, we're taking a step up and, we are really excited to be in such a beautiful space.
Yes. And not have to do the things.
I didn't, nor Joy didn't press the button today.
We didn't press the button.
We didn't have to press the button. We didn't have to adjust the cameras. So we're very excited.
Yes. So, girl.
Y'all.
What have you been up to over these last? When was the last time we recorded? Was that in April?
I think the last time we recorded in person was
in February.
It was in February, yeah.
And then we
did a virtual episode in April.
Yes. How have you been since April?
So much.
Also, that I haven't seen you since February is pretty disgusting.
It's actually really hard.
It's been hard.
Yeah, because a lot has happened, in my life, also in Joy's life, and we've just kind of been going through our phone exchanges, but it's not the same as when we're together. And so I think, a lot has been going on for me. I would say the biggest thing right now has definitely been work. Work has been very busy, but also challenging. So as you guys know, this new position that, running my own business has become very, very time consuming, and I'm learning a lot as I go, not realizing, how the pace changes as you get, closer to the summer. And so that's been a bit of a challenge for me, right? I always said I didn't want to work 5 days a week. I've been working 5 days a week.
5 days a week is insane.
Yeah, it's too much.
Insane.
It's too much. Yeah. So just managing that has been a really big thing. And then also just trying to spend time with family and just focus on all the other things that are going on in my life. But I'm happy to be here with you.
Yes, I'm happy to be here with you.
What have you been up to?
Girl, the school year is over in Georgia. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. I think I mentioned that I work part-time at a school. So school's over in Georgia. I still see clients and stuff. So I'll be back in my full-time entrepreneur bag. Also, I guess that's thinking about what's coming up. What have I been up to? I feel like working has been taking over, and I don't like that. Every day has been something. Having to leave the house every day.
It is so hard.
It's really hard. It was a very hard adjustment. Yeah, I haven't worked in person full time since 2020. So having to do that, even if it was just for a few months, because I didn't start the beginning of the school year, it's been still challenging. I had an incident at work and I had to report somebody. So that has made it a difficult time to be there. But I feel like I've been working.
Yeah. Work is right now the big thing. And I think it's because we both work in similar industries, and it's coming down to the end of the year. But congratulations on ending the year in Georgia.
Yes. I feel like I've been trying to be more social in certain instances when I can, but I've been tired. Coming home and sleeping or just being in silence has been a lot of been doing just shut down. So I feel this okay, I can be outside, I can engage with people, I can answer the phone. Still not taking it off do not disturb.
I love that. I actually think that I might do that.
Oh my God. My phone is on do not disturb. There are, I think, 6 people who can get that my phone rings for.
What made you do that?
So I have clients always talk about a few clients talk about putting their phone on do not disturb at night.
Okay.
From one, it was 10 o'clock, one was 9 o'clock. One was I think I'm gonna move it up to 7 o'clock.
Wow.
And I was that's legit. And then I tried it one day, and I was oh my God, it's so nice to not hear notifications. My phone only makes noise if 6 people reach out to me.
Wow. See, I might need to take that on because I do find myself, especially this week, I found myself getting agitated
Yep.
because my phone was going off at like, 8, 9 o'clock, where I'm really just trying to wind down and like not be on the phone and not communicate. Because another thing is that, like I always say, I feel like I talk all day.
Yes.
And
that was the reason.
Yeah.
Was like I talk all day to people. I don't want to talk sometimes.
Yes. And I feel like even when you're texting, for me, it's still talking because I still have to formulate sentences and I still find that to be exhausting. So it's like impeding on my rest time. And I do think I'm probably going to put my phone on Do Not Disturb because
I love it.
Yeah, I need to.
And my little cousin also swears by it. She's 16.
Really?
She leaves her phone on Do Not Disturb. I think your favorites when you have an iPhone can reach out to you, but or somebody can call you multiple times. My phone, I don't have that. So, I get a lot of spam calls now.
Yes, a lot.
And so it doesn't even ring. I don't get email notifications. So it also kind of has allowed me to detach from my phone in that, again, I know if I get a phone call or a text message, it's 1 of 6 people. And I can choose, obviously, if I want to answer it or not, or if I can answer it or not, because I might be occupied. But then I'm not like, oh, there's an email. Oh, there's an email. Oh, there's a notification. Oh, there's a this. It's a freedom. I love it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do that, especially during the week.
Yeah.
Because you know what the other thing is too, and you know this because you work remotely as well when you're seeing your clients, the day never ends. There's never a clean end to the day. It's just like you're constantly connected and people are constantly reaching out to you. And I know you don't have to respond.
Right. But it's hard to not respond when you hear
Yes.
it. When you go and you're like, oh my God. I got 5 missed calls and 40 text messages, versus like in the moments. Because also sometimes like my anxiety is high or whatever, like the sound of it can increase my anxiety. It also frustrate me.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, like then I'm annoyed because like, why do you want to talk to me?
Yep.
And I don't want to be like that.
Yep.
I just don't get notifications.
I'm definitely going
Game
to be
changer.
putting my phone on Do Not Disturb. Definitely.
Yeah.
So I also know that we're in this time of
Yeah.
the year that's a very significant time for us, but really for you.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk a little bit about
Why did I just like feel like sad? Oh my God. Okay. So today is May 26th. I was like, because I was trying to think of the day of the week, and I was like, May is not a day of the week. May is a month.
Yeah.
See, my brain is starting to fry.
It was a Friday.
It was a Friday. So Friday, May 26, 2017, my life changed. As some of you might know, my boyfriend Rasheem passed away that day. And so I like vividly remember that day. Alex was a huge part of that day. And I feel like it has changed my life. I feel like it added something to our friendship, and not in this like toxic way, but in just kind of like really getting to feel supported and be a support. I think was a huge turning. I don't want to say a huge turning point because we were cool, but we like got really close after this, or during this, I guess. So we were at work, got a text message. There was like a few other things going on, but the point of it, I guess, or the point that I want to make, I had a text message that said like, come to the hospital. And I went to the bathroom at work and I said, God, I cannot have you take anybody else from me. I can't handle it. I can't do this. This is too much. And then Alex had asked me if I wanted her to go with me. I said, no, I don't think so. I think I'll be fine. And then I was like, yeah, maybe come. So we took a cab from Inwood, like Washington Heights, to Brooklyn.
That's such a like you. Every time you tell us, you always make sure you say that.
We took a cab from Inwood to East New York, which is far. And because going back, I didn't drive to work that day because we were going to happy hour.
We were going out.
We were going to Contra for the 2-for-1 happy hour. Yes, I remember like what I had. I remember all the things. And So we get in the cab, and I was like, Alex, I feel like something happened. And she's like, don't say that, don't say that. And I was like, I just feel like something is off. We almost get to the hospital, and I get a phone call from one of Rasheem's cousins. And she's crying, and I go, I think you know something I don't know. And I put my phone on the seat. Alex picks my phone up, and she's like, hey, we're almost at the hospital. Like, Joy will call you back. So we get to the hospital. I'm like, frantic. It's like TV. It didn't feel real. It felt not like I was even living an outer body experience. It almost felt like, I don't know, it was like, wasn't real life. And I said, does anybody know where this room is? This man like stops his conversation. He escorts us. We walk into the room, and Rasheem's mom is crying. And I just am like, ugh, like worst day. And it has now been 7 years since he passed away. And it's so weird sometimes because he's been dead longer than we've known each other, since I know him. And this season is hard because it's Mother's Day, it's Father's Day. The anniversary of my mom's death is also coming up. My dad's birthday is coming up. And it's just always like so many feelings of like up and down. And so it feels really significant almost to be in Brooklyn on this day, 7 years later. And his death has really changed my life. The Joy Social Work podcast wouldn't have existed had he not passed away, because podcasting wasn't even something that I was thinking about, and something that Christine suggested as a result of me having so many feelings and thoughts and opinions, and just a way for me to share what I was going through. Not necessarily for anybody else. My goal was always, if one person gets something out of this, great. And so many more did. But for me, it was like a space to heal. I think there's so much healing in storytelling. There's so much healing in not keeping things bottled up. And so I'm grateful for that Christine introduced me to this space, because this also probably wouldn't have existed. Either rather. But I'm so grateful for him, because I feel like our relationship was so healthy and so loving. And my very first relationship was pretty unhealthy. It was very unhealthy. And it was nice and affirming to be with somebody who made you feel like all the things that you wanted were real, and like you could really have them. It's funny. I was talking about, because I we didn't have children. It was something that I feel like when he died, everyone was kind of like, do you think you're pregnant? And I'm like, I know that I'm not pregnant. But it was just like such this pressure of like, oh God, if I'm pregnant, then at least there's something else. But, I feel like I try to keep his legacy alive by talking about him, because there isn't a person. Like, I am the person. His mom is the person. His friends are the people. His family are the people who keep him alive and keep his name mentioned. And so talking about him or telling a story or something, and one of her newer friends in Georgia was like, was he really a good person, or do you just talk about him like that because he's dead? And I don't think she meant it in a bad way.
Okay.
I just...
Because don't do it. Don't. All right, go ahead.
I think because of... That's a lot. I was going to say, maybe she never met a good man. I don't know, whatever.
Because it's giving...
But I was like, no, for real. Like,
kind and gentle and loving and friendly and like funny, and just felt good to be around. Easily like welcomed you in and like blended in with like the group. And he loved Joy with his whole heart. And it showed in the way that he showed up and the way that he interacted with her, just person to person. Yeah. And that's undeniable. Yeah.
And like, I was like, he's not perfect because he's a person. None of us are perfect. I was like, but like, if I had to say close to, I feel like it was such a huge loss, because, you're in a relationship with somebody, you do talk a lot about the future, and you do talk about talk a lot about what you want and like what you see and envision for each other and envision for your lives together. And then to have that unexpectedly taken away was just kind of like, now what am I supposed to do? I remember saying like, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? And feeling this sense of like, I hate when people say that they feel um damaged or like broken. But there was this sense of like, I don't think I'm gonna get past this.
Yeah.
I'd already lost my parents, and I just felt like I don't know that I can handle this.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the fuck. It was a wild
such
time.
a wild time.
It was a wild time
because it was just so sudden and unexpected and unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was, I think that's for me, the best word that I could think of was it was unbelievable that this could happen, because I think that even in my mind when I picture him right now, it's just like for someone that close, and that, it just didn't make sense. It just, the way that we left work that day, it didn't seem like that was a plausible outcome.
Right. Not at all. And I think sometimes I still think about it and I be like, my nigga really died? Like, that's crazy. Like, that shit is crazy. When I hear Renee, I be like, God love is the Lord. I be living by. Day by day, I wonder why much. But black people like to make trauma funny. But for real, I'm like, Mr. Cheeks, I feel you.
I feel you.
Because my shorty had to die. It's still wild to me. And sometimes I just can't fathom that it happened, or when people talk about stuff in their relationship, I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
But I also know that's this person's thing, and I don't ever want to play. It could be worse Olympics or grieving Olympics or whatever the case may be, but it also makes me think again, the things that I want in a relationship I can also have because I've had them that worked for me at that time. And so I think part of why I'm single is because part of also why I'm single is I really do want to be particular and cautious because I don't want to just be like, it's a person. Yeah. And I haven't had a person for so long that this is a person.
Do you think it's hard for the men that you date in a real way?
Yes.
Right?
Yes, they are annoying. I have had people who've been jealous, and I'm like, that's so weird because he's dead. He's not going to come back. And he's not any form of competition. But they feel because I have had that type of love. I think some of them think they just can't play in my face.
Yeah. And I think that I remember there was, and that's the great thing about learning and growing is that I can remember when it happened, and I probably said this to you, and I really regret saying it, but I think it speaks to where I was at that time in my life. Not really, you were always growing and evolving.
Yeah.
And I think I said something to the effect of Joy, you're so lucky to have been loved that way. There's people that go their whole lives.
Yeah, people have said
and
that.
never have that. And so just understand how lucky you are to have had that. And I think that that's a problematic way of thinking because it puts a level of finality on it where it's not, right? It's yes, that's a major part of your life, but it's not the end of your story. Who's to say, that, I mean, it probably will happen where this
God
is
willing.
And it's going to be even something that you couldn't even imagine, a kind of love. Yes, you were gifted to have that, but you will also have more. But then my question is there a level of, is there ever any guilt around all of the ways that your life has grown?
Yes. It very much so. And I think this was something that came up on the tour last year, is that none of these things would have come about.
Why so? Or why not? And I know this is a lot, so like, don't feel like you have to.
No, I'm just trying to think of like, because I think that is layered. I think Rasheem was an amazing person, amazing boyfriend. Rasheem was also very much more private. So like, there was a point that we had gone on vacation, taken a picture, I posted it, and it went viral in a very negative way. And he was like, I just don't understand why your Instagram is public. And so something is, to me, small as a public Instagram was something he was not comfortable with. So I could only imagine that this would be like, why would you do this? But again, we're talking 7 years ago, which, because we're always growing and evolving, he might not have felt that way now. But in the moment, that I don't think he would have been cool with a podcast. I don't think I would have even, I mean, I didn't consider it, but I wouldn't have considered it because I also don't think that was the space that I was in. I also know, like, maybe even entrepreneurship. I think he was a very safe, like, practical person. So, like, you got to get a 9 to 5.
Yep.
Like, when he couldn't find a job that he liked, he was like, I have to go back to school because you have to have more education to get the things you like. Things were very practical and make sense. Me being like, I'm gonna quit my job and start a business, he would have been like, absolutely the fuck you're not. That doesn't work for us.
That's right.
So I do think that if he were still alive, I probably would have lived a more safe life. I probably wouldn't have taken as many risks.
Yeah.
And I think everything that I've done, a lot of things that I've done, maybe not everything, that I've done between, give it a few years after that and now, have been very risky. Have been very betting on myself, that in a way that that joy didn't think was possible.
Yep.
And if you have a partner that also doesn't think that's possible, and that also at the time, if I didn't want to ruffle feathers,
that's right,
I don't know that I would have even advocated for myself in that way.
And I think that's so real. And I think we have this conversation. I think about this often.
I do too.
Because I'm like, look at Joy's journey. Like, look at the path that brought you to where you are now. And it's only getting started. But I also think about this major, significant person in your life, you know, and losing that person.
Yeah.
And I'm constantly like conflicted.
Yep, same. Thank you for saying that. I am too, because I don't ever want, this is less about me, more about other people, anybody else to feel like I'm using it. I think it gave me a voice. I honestly think it gave me a voice. I think when my dad died first, I feel like I was very much like, what the fuck? Death is real. Then my mom died and I was like, ugh. Now I have to just feel things, but I also have to keep going because I'm in grad school and I have to graduate and I have to get a job and I have to do all these things. And I think Rasheem's death was just kind of like,
yeah,
we got to do something. Like you have feelings, people have feelings, other people are experiencing this. Can you help them? Can you help yourself? Really? Started with, can you help yourself? And then when people started to respond to it, it was like, oh, people are resonating with this. Like, you're giving language and voice to something that is, partner loss at a young age, I think, is a very specific thing. But you're also giving voice to, like, grieving and what that can look like for people. I think you're also giving voice and language to how to show up for people who are grieving. I think you're also giving voice and language to people who are in the mental health space who are dealing with their mental health. You know, like, so I hate that it had to come out of that, but I whether I believe the reason or not, I do think that things happen for a reason. I do think God makes things happen, even if you're like, that's God, I don't believe that that should have happened. I do think that they happen because they do take you to a place. And where you go is really up to you. It sucks when it it's terrible when it involves someone not being in your life who you always thought would be in your life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think.
But I also think with Rasheem and my parents, I wouldn't be. I would be, I'm sure, living still almost at my old address. That's dangerous. I'm sure I would have, like, and maybe not still live with my parents because I had moved out before they died, but I think when anything got difficult, I would have just gone back home.
Yeah, just go home.
And not that there's anything wrong with that, but I think that would have very much limited me and where I am, where I see myself going. I don't think they could have been here for that.
How did you get to that realization? Because that is very loaded. Even as I sit and listen, it's just like it makes me feel like I feel my shoulders like tense up a little bit because I agree with you.
Yeah.
But I'm like, how difficult it must be for you to say that aloud.
Mm-hmm. How did I get to that place? I think with therapy. I think once I started feeling like a new, once it was like, once my narrative and my mindset stopped being God clearly hates me because he keeps taking people and things from me.
And was there a point where that was where you were at?
Very much so. I was like, God clearly doesn't fuck with me because what the fuck? Because at that time, except for people who had already lost a parent, everybody had their parents, whether they fucked with them or not. Everybody had parents. People were in relationships. People, after Rasheem died, I feel like mad people got married, mad people had kids, and I was just like, so God, you really hate me because you don't want me to have these things. And when I stopped looking at it like, this is the end, and was like, well, what can be next? What can I do now? Or like, who can I be now? Or truly believing that things do happen for a reason. I would say this before Rasheem died. I would say that if my parents were alive, I would just be, because that would just be easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would, because especially once I think my dad was still alive. Like I knew I could mess up, and I had a safety.
You had a net, yeah.
I had a net. And when they were gone, I didn't have a net. Yeah. So then it was just,
it forced you.
Exactly. And so then when he was gone, it was like, damn, the net that I was starting to build or create is no longer there either. So it was like, maybe you just didn't need a net.
Wow. Maybe you needed you.
Maybe you needed you. You are, I'm always grateful for them and what they have added to my life and who they were to me, how they loved me and supported me. But I think without the net, I had to bet on me. I had to like find the voice that I wasn't given when I was little. I had to like stand up for myself and advocate for myself. That little girl who like never felt enough and was bullied and all of that stuff. It wasn't bullying. We didn't get, we just got made fun of. But that girl like had to like, that girl is this girl.
Yeah.
And I don't think she would have been, I don't think I would have been myself.
Wow. I think the fact that at this stage of your life, you are able to reflect in such a like poignant way about how like loss has propelled your trajectory in a lot of ways to self-discovery and like really, you know,
Self-love.
stepping into yourself and self-love and all of that. I think that's a story that so many people can relate to.
Right. Because I think it's those things that then make the other things happen. It's like my pain, this woman I met, she says she turned her pain into her purpose. Like I experienced this thing. And one of my friends tells me all the time, you've gone through all of these things first. And so you almost have like set the blueprint of what it could look like. And these are not the things I want to be first in. Trust. And if God came down and said like, hey, Joy, we go back and we could do this, but your life is going to look very different, but these people will still be here. I don't know. I don't know what I would do. I honestly couldn't tell you, but I miss them, obviously. I miss him, obviously. I still do think about what life could have been like had he been alive. But the other part of it is like, he's not. He's not. And so, yes, it was weird. It was weird. Yesterday, one of my friend's moms said something to me. She's like, I know what you had was really good. Random. I know what you had was really good. But you can't keep sitting in that and like comparing people. You got to get out there and you got to meet people. You got to like, and I was like, why are you telling me this? But it was just kind of like, I think sometimes I do need reminders of like, get up and get out.
Yeah.
Do something. If you say you want these things, create the life. Continue to create the life you want. And if you want a partner in that, find him. Have him find you, whoever finds who.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I do think that something that's always been beautiful, and then I always feel guilty about it too, is that people do show up for me. And I think about, I lived in Brooklyn at the time. Alex lived uptown. We worked uptown. And she was like, do you want to come stay at my house? And I would spend the night. And then we get up. We're supposed to be at work at 7 o'clock in the morning.
We said, fuck work.
Or 7:30, I think we're supposed to be at work. And it'd be like 6:45. And she's like, you want coffee? I'm like, And then we would just sit on the couch and chat. And we would get to work when we got to work. And then she'd like look over and she'd be like, you want to take a walk? I'd be like, And then we would spend hours.
Getting paid as we should, but still just like spending that time together. And I think that that's one of the major like building blocks of our friendship, is that we are there for each other. There is no ego. I mean, we're human, so right, everyone has ego, but I think that we've gotten to a place in our friendship where if there's something that one of us needs, that you do know that you can come to me and I can come to her and say, hey, this is what's going on, you know? And I think that women need these kinds of friendships, especially as we like go through different seasons of life that bring you to your knees, figuratively and spiritually. You need friends, and you never know, how life is going to change and what you're going to go through, and at least being able to have some authentic friends in your corner is really
I don't know how I would have. I mean, I don't know that I'd have made it out of 2009 had I not had really supportive friends. This is not a thing to do alone. I don't think. I don't think you should do life alone. But definitely having people. Yeah. Girl, I'm here with you has been so amazing. I'm so grateful and blessed for it.
And I also think that, like, although, yes, like friendship and all of that, but I also learn a lot from Joy. I always say, like, Joy has really been a model for me of, like, how to be more authentic and to me and brave, because I see brave as being vulnerable. I feel that people who are able to show vulnerability are the bravest, because to me, it shows a sense of self, like, what is it? Like awareness and like comfort and like knowing yourself. And even if you're not all the way there yet, it's like a commitment to doing it and stepping into it and growing into it. And I think that since we've become friends, bit by bit, I become more comfortable with being vulnerable.
You have.
And I think that even our, platform that we have, like starting this podcast has been that. Like I can point to the fact that like the reason why I feel comfortable doing this is because it's with Joy. And because she has modeled how to be vulnerable.
People.
I'm just telling y'all that this is how it got here, right? You remember
Thank you.
on the other
yes.
on the Joy of Social Work, I wouldn't even say my name.
No, you were an anonymous person, and now you are on a camera, on multiple cameras.
There are many cameras, but it's because I have someone that creates psychological safety, that's fun, and that's smart, and that I learn, a lot of different things from, but also is a model of like to be a woman with many experiences and like how to take risks, how to be yourself, how to grow. Like, it's just beautiful.
Thank you. You are beautiful. I appreciate.
Don't start being weird.
I don't know what you're saying.
Don't start.
Too late. Spiraling. No, but thank you. I appreciate you. And
you
just
do a lot.
You do a lot.
I don't do nothing.
You do.
Talk shit.
No, it's so much more
than that. Be in a bad mood.
But you are a safe space for me. I'm often like, you are.
Yeah, but I don't be
giving favorite person.
I am not that, right? You are loving and kind.
And so are you.
And like, oh, now sit down and relax. Like, and I am not that, but that's fine.
That's fine. We don't.
Yeah.
I think you give the same thing though.
But it just looks different.
It just looks different. But no, you are very much that to me. I mean, even like, if I'm having a bad day and I'll tell you about it and you're like, just breathe and have some water and like, do you need anything? And maybe you just need to close your eyes and take it. Like, you do it.
Yeah.
You do it. You are very nurturing and you take care of me in a way that I am so grateful for.
I'm trying to become
But I think you have been
soft.
that. But I think you have been that. I mean, you spicy, but like, I think you have been.
I'm very spicy. I'm very spicy. But I'm trying to be a little less spicy.
But also, that's you.
But it's my personality. I can't help it.
Right. I mean, yeah. I want to say, no, it depends on.
I'm Haitian. I'm a woman. I'm a Sag. I'm from New York.
You live in Harlem.
I live in Harlem.
God, the things I've seen in Harlem today, if that doesn't make you
terrible.
Out of New York. But no, I'm very grateful for you.
I'm grateful for you.
And I used to feel like, oh my God, I hope she doesn't feel like she has to be my friend because she was there when this thing happened. But that thought no longer exists because there has been so much evolution. I mean, like, we've mentioned this before, like, pre-pandemic, part of like our weekly self-care was meeting up. We had a post-it dinner. We would talk about.
I miss that a lot.
I miss that a whole lot. Like, we'll text each other now and I'll be like, we should have been at brunch. And she'll be like, but you moved. Or like, she'll be like, it's a nice day in New York, but you don't live here anymore. So like, I miss
the
it.
Absence.
Yeah, because it was so filling and
healthy and easy.
Yes. Oh,
it was easy.
We will do a whole episode about easy friendship because
it'd be too much. Like, sometimes I just want to sit, just like we sitting right now talking.
I want you to show up. I show up. We have a good time. We go home. It's easy.
Yep. Maybe we just watch TV.
Maybe we do that.
And that's it. Easy.
Some people want high maintenance friends.
No, we like easy.
That's why some of y'all ain't got a call back.
Yikes, spicy.
But also, like, I am forever grateful for you. I'm grateful that even that day you said, "Do you want me to go with you, or I'll go with you?"
Yeah.
And I said no.
We had no idea what. Yeah.
And then something said, "Say yeah, come." And you stayed in Brooklyn that whole day. People came. I mean, like,
it was
people
wild.
just showed up. We like all met at this place and got chicken.
Like a barbecue place.
Yes, we were like in a backyard, and it's Memorial Day weekend, guys. It's a Friday before Memorial Day. Everybody came to Brooklyn. We ate chicken and drank. I drank a lot. I told the bartender, my boyfriend died today. She's like, oh my God, I'm going to keep bringing you liquor. Thank you, sis. And then it was just a time. And so shout out to you for being there. Thank you for everybody who showed up that day and showed up days after, because sometimes people stop showing up.
And continue to show
And
up.
continue to show up and continue to be a part of my life and my support system. I'm very grateful. I'm always grateful to Rasheem, to his family, because his mom is an angel. His goddaughter, Destiny. It was, yeah. So it's been a hard loss for all of us. It doesn't really feel like 7 years has passed. So
It doesn't. It feels like I could remember the day like yesterday.
Remember what I was wearing.
Yeah.
But that has been 7 years.
It's crazy.
Be navigating this season, and
Yep.
you know, this morning I woke up, I prayed, I had a conversation with him. I don't know if I talked about this. I've talked to a medium before. I talked to 2 mediums actually. And one of them was like, he's gonna bring you the right person. So sometimes I lean on that. Like, he didn't play about me. And so I can't see him being up there like, here, let me just give her anybody. Because I'm sure some of the picks that I've had, he's been like, really? This guy? This the guy? Oh, okay. And they eliminate themselves usually. So I'm grateful. I'm trying to remain in faith and believe that I truly believe I can have the life. God let you settle whatever level you choose.
That's right.
This is nice. I feel like I'm in a good space, but I feel like I could get better. So I'm proud of myself, but I want to keep pushing.
I'm so proud of you too.
Thank
I'm proud
you.
of the way that you continue to show up and reinvent yourself and challenge yourself and be such an amazing model to other people and other women who are, trying to step into themselves and learn more about like who they are and what's important to them. And I thank you for allowing me to be along on your journey.
Thank you for coming on this ride called Life with Joy. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you too.
Guys and Alex, I'm very excited about season 2.
Yes, we have lots coming your way. Season 2. We are so excited. We have guests. We have this beautiful set, as you could see. More great conversations and opinions. And we really do hope that you guys are going to connect with it. As usual, please, leave us your comments. Follow us on socials.
Yes, follow us on Instagram at Courageous Exchanges. You can find this podcast on any platform, on YouTube, and you can also email us at courageousexchanges@gmail.com. If you have a question or a thing, but you could always comment on YouTube.
And remember to subscribe.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being here. Remember to live a courageous and authentic life. Goodbye.